2, 1. We are live with the Dart Man.
Live.
The Dart Man. He's got darts. He's got darts. He's got a dart game. They call him Bullseye. Black
All right, slow
Bullseye.
down. Let's not. I mean, I like that you're putting me over so strongly.
Yeah.
And darts do get played at our house, but
Yes.
not by me.
Oh.
I don't throw a single fucking dart. I don't play cricket, cousin. Never that. But I encourage everyone else to play darts if you enjoy it. What I don't encourage would be people watching darts on ESPN. Don't watch that shit because even if you're watching it as a joke and you're like laughing and getting drunk while you watch it, that's still ratings.
Yeah.
And they see that as success and they'll continue to put on dumb programming like darts.
How do you feel about bowling?
You know, I'm not the biggest fan of bowling. Maybe I used to like to watch, Rich Voss. I don't know. Maybe it was Brian Voss.
Okay.
Maybe that was his name. He had cool hair.
Brian Voss.
I don't know. I'm not against people having their little shit, right? Like, if you want to be on ESPN for a split second, that's cool and all. But every second they put on bowling or darts on ESPN is another second that MMA is not on, that jiu-jitsu or wrestling are not on. And, like, for fuck's sake, like, jiu-jitsu will probably never, ever, ever be on ESPN.
Yeah, no.
And, like, meanwhile, they have all this space for darts. Like,
Dude,
fuck are we doing?
that's because lawn darts were popular in like the 70s and 80s. And because
And it's also because jiu-jitsu isn't as popular as we'd like to believe that it is.
Yeah.
There's that fact too. But I digress. Like, I don't even. Sometimes I fantasize about jiu-jitsu becoming popular, but it doesn't follow the right model. Like, jiu-jitsu needs to see itself as a lifestyle sport. It needs to see itself on a corporate level, like skateboarding.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like at some point, every kid had a skateboard, but all of us aren't skaters,
Yeah.
right? So, like, at some point, it will be cool if at some point in your life it was normal for you to have had a gi and, like, did a little bit of grappling, but you're not a grappler. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you have a bike. You have a motherfucking bike in your garage. Now, you only ride that motherfucker twice a year. You don't consider yourself a biker, but you own a bike. Like, it's familiar. Until we're on that level of lifestyle sport, no one's ever going to watch. It doesn't make any sense to watch. As a spectator sport, jiu-jitsu is one of the worst things in the world. Like, it's, like, super fun to do, super bad to watch.
But that's like one of those things that like is like a necessity in some way, shape, or form.
What, entertainment value?
No, hold on. Sorry, there's jets flying over.
I mean, you'll have jets, you know?
Yeah.
That should be my jet.
No, it's for
Oh, wait, 1 second. My jet's pulling up.
sorry. This is for the.
It just got refueled.
Nah,
We're about to take that bitch to fucking San Pedro.
nah. I think this is for the All-Star game that's going on today. But
Oh, the All-Star game. Is that in Cleveland?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, for shoot?
Yeah.
Okay. Respect. There's also a dunk contest, yeah?
There might be. I don't know if it's in Cleveland.
No, dude, if the All-Star shit is in Cleveland, that's in Cleveland. You're talking baseball. I mean, you're talking basketball, right?
No.
This is baseball?
Baseball, yeah, baseball.
No one cares about baseball.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm kidding. Oh, shit. So, yeah. Things that people do care about. International Fight Week just happened here in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
And you would think that I was going to, like, try to be a part of that, but I really wasn't on it. I really didn't go to a single event for Fight Week. It's like the more I'm involved in the sport, the least I'm a fan, but not the least that I like it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, I still love jiu-jitsu. I still love MMA, and I still like watching it. Like, I watch the UFC, and we'll discuss that,
Mm-hmm.
right? But I think if I weren't working with Jess and Casey and looking at some other people that I'd like to work with in the future, if I weren't, like, thinking about it from, like, a very practical perspective, I'd be super in. Like, if I was just training or teaching jiu-jitsu and I was in Vegas, I would be going to some of these events. Maybe not all of them like a super fan, but I'd be going to something. You know what I'm saying? Right now, if it's basically like, if you're not paying one of my friends to be there, I could give a Frenchman's fuck about your event. Like,
Right.
that's how I feel.
Yeah. There's,
And especially if you're not paying my friend, you know?
Yeah.
because I think they should. I think people should be paying to see my friend in public. And when people offer to see my friend in public, I would like to know that people are helping that happen.
Yeah.
You know, and when they don't, I might get mad. That's it.
Of course. Of course.
But yeah,
it makes sense.
International Fight Week is what they call it, not Ultimate Fight Week. International Fight Week
though. I'll let you go.
is what they have named it. And they had all these appearances. Like I went to a dispensary because they advertised something called a farmer's market. Now, if I told you, Anthony, that we were going to a farmer's market, tell me about the surroundings. Close your eyes and picture the farmer's market.
Are we talking about for weed or for actual vegetables?
Well, it's a dispensary.
Okay, so
Now,
so
tell me what the farmer's market looks like.
all right. Well, can I ask one question? Is it indoor or outdoor?
Now that's a question, isn't it?
Yes.
that's the first thing that bothered me.
Yeah.
Is that the farmer's market was an indoor event.
Okay.
Now, why the fuck are we indoors? Farmer's market is supposed to be outside. Am I crazy?
You're not crazy, but you have to know. Look, think about where you are. You're in the desert. Nobody wants to be outside for more than 2 hours, even with the little umbrella overhead.
You shouldn't be outside for more than 2 hours. When you hit the farmer's market, you walk through that bitch in one direction, you walk through that bitch in another direction.
Not you.
That should be a 35-minute to 45-minute trip.
Not you.
And if you want to be socialist fuck, then it's a 2-hour trip. It should not be longer than 2 hours unless you're a vendor.
Yeah, I'm saying not you, the vendor. I think that's the most important thing. Nobody wants to pass out when they're holding cash because that's all they can hold is cash. Nobody wants to just have a heat stroke and just get robbed at the same time. So,
all right. You raise a good point, Anthony.
Yeah.
What you're saying is it's not pragmatic
Yeah.
to
Exactly.
have an outdoor farmer's market.
Yeah.
Well, then call it something else.
No, they should use the name indoor
No.
farmers market.
No. First of all, fuck you for your question, Anthony. instead of answering me to set me up, you were like, let me challenge Darren right now. I'm a blue belt now. I'll show this motherfucker what's what. Okay, cuz. Okay.
Yeah.
I see you got work on you now.
I'm here.
Fair. Look, you're correct. The question is it indoor or outdoor? But I believe it should have been an outdoor event because of how it was marketed. You say farmer's market, I think, we're gonna be outside.
Hold on.
There's gonna be vendors. There's gonna be people selling their wares. There's gonna be weed for sale. There's gonna be all kinds of things, right? Meanwhile, you take me into this little tunnel.
room.
Now the tunnel was kind of cute, actually.
Yeah.
The dispensary is called Acres, and even though it sounds like I'm running them down, these are jokes. I really enjoyed myself. Okay.
Yeah.
I suggest everyone goes to this farmer's market. I'm going next week. Okay. Let's put that out there. Let the facts be known. I'm a supporter of this event. Now, let me bury it. So you go in and you check in. And usually when I go to a dispensary, the security guy and I have a nice moment where I say hello and they say hello and I say have a nice day. And they smile and I smile and I go about my day.
Yeah.
That is not what occurred. That's not what occurred.
Okay.
When I saw the security guy, he was like, you go over there. And I was like, damn, somebody fucking kick you in the dick this morning? You just got that text that she's leaving? What the fuck? What did I do? I gave you positivity. I didn't mark out. I wasn't like, how was your day going, Betty? Right? I didn't give him anything weird.
Yeah.
But goddamn. I can't get a fucking smirk back. Fair.
The last guy.
So I get into the line, and when I get into the line, I realize that I've executed poorly here.
Oh, why?
There's several things going on.
Okay.
So since it's International Fight Week, Nick and Nate Diaz are doing an appearance there.
Oh.
And the line to get into the farmer's market, into the dispensary, and to see Nick and Nate is the same line. So I'm standing in a line that's unnecessarily long.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because people want to meet Nick and Nate. And people assume that you were there today to meet Nick and Nate when you get to the front of the line. And I was like, oh, no, just the farmer's market for me. And they're like, you don't want to meet Nick and Nate? It's free. And I'm like, no. I don't want to meet them under those circumstances.
Right.
I don't want to meet them while I stood in a line to meet them. But I'm down to meet them.
Right.
But to spend my time standing in a line just seemed a bit silly. So I'm not a huge mark, right? So I was like, all right, fuck that. I'm just going to the farmer's market. And I get down to the farmer's market. You have to go through this little tunnel that is designed to look like you're in a mining situation. Like it's called the underground. So you're in a tunnel of a mine,
Yeah.
right? And then when you get to the end of the tunnel, it opens up into a large room that looks like a black box theater. It's very dark and open,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like black. The walls are black.
Yeah.
There's counters all around you. So you walk into the center, and then you can see these vendors on the sides, and you can interact with everybody. And they have really great deals, and everybody should go check it out. But it's not a farmer's market. It's just a marketing tool for their like closeouts for the week.
Right.
Right? So good deal, really beautiful space. Like the whole space is beautiful, but it is in no way, shape, or form a farmer's market.
I mean, that makes sense though. Like if you think about it, I don't think you're allowed to do any sales outside or anything like that. So that would also be like,
Anthony, again, with all this pragmatic shit, like, oh, they're not allowed to blah, 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 blah.
I mean, I don't, you know,
Oh, it's hot. The vendors need to be cool.
you know how people make, you know how people market for themselves. They're like, this is a farmers market. It's our farmers market. Like everybody, like jiu-jitsu people have their, bar crawl. Like we work out really hard and then we go drinking. So it's like nobody who does a bar crawl wants to go get sweaty for 2 hours and be dehydrated and then start drinking. A regular alcoholic drinks like a Gatorade or two and then sets themselves up for success. So think about it.
That's what you must do. You must be set up for success
Exactly.
in this life.
And when you do those stupid things like that, you're like, oh yeah, we have our farmers market, but it's not really a farmers market. Oh yeah, we're doing our bar crawl, but it's not really a bar crawl. That's the trap you fell for.
That's that work.
Yeah,
That's that work, Daddy.
it is.
You done been worked here.
All right.
Yeah, so since I saw you last,
Yeah.
I saw a pro wrestling show.
Ooh. Wait, is this like the Spanish one? Was this the one where like?
No.
Okay.
This was at FSW, which is a pro wrestling school here in Las Vegas, Future Stars of Wrestling. And at that show, it was all like no hitting ropes, like almost MMA meets pro wrestling. So it's like worked shoots, right?
Yeah.
Is what it was supposed to be. And it was neat. Like I had a good time. Shout out to Ryan Couture, who wrestled in his first wrestling match, who had his first worked fight.
Nice.
It's more accurate to call these worked fights than wrestling matches. Like nobody locked up,
Mm-hmm.
nobody hit ropes, so you're not wrestling, right? Like you're in a work environment.
Okay.
Is the most accurate thing to say. So like none of these people who are doing it for the first time have now wrestled. What they've done is they've performed in front of an audience in a worked environment, because wrestling is different to me. Like what they did was a hybrid,
Yeah.
and it was neat. So Ryan Couture wrestled, and that was dope. He had a match against a guy who was very experienced named Dave Mazzani. Jess's homegirl, Gina, wrestled, and she had a fun match. Her gear started failing, but she didn't let that stop her. She fucking owned that shit. She ripped her letters off through the air and was like, what's up? So she did a really good job. And then after Gina, because it was so hot, everybody was kind of over it except for me.
Yeah.
And they were like, they had got outside. They get a text that's like, yo,
Ready to go.
we leaving in like 5 minutes. If you're coming with us, come outside. And I'm like, oh, well, I don't need to just be on Mark right now. Plus, this isn't even really a wrestling show. And I'm not saying that to be offensive. I'm saying it because I really miss seeing wrestling live.
Yeah.
And it's not like anybody's hitting ropes or anything. And so I'm like, all right, this was neat. We supported the people we wanted to support. I could dip out right now. So let's go. Let's go spend time with people that you actually know and care about, instead of sitting in a room with a bunch of strangers just so you can have fun at wrestling shows,
Yeah.
And so I leave, and then I hear that fucking John Moxley, who used to be Dean Ambrose, just showed up at this tiny ass event. Just like showed up at the end like, what's up? Because he lives in Vegas.
Yeah.
And what's fucked up is, I remember when I sat down, I specifically thought to myself, I bet Moxley's in town. I wonder if he's friends with any of these guys, like some of the national guys who used to be in WWE. He might want to see them. I bet he's in the fucking back. And I was like, no, he's not coming out. Like, that would be gay, right? Like, he's not coming out. There's no way Moxley's coming out. Even if he's here, he's not coming out. And, of course, I dip out. And Moxley comes out to a huge fucking pop. it would be fun to see someone who's that famous in that small of a venue when they're as hot as they are. Like, he just won a title for New Japan. He's doing AEW. Like, he's doing his own thing, and he's doing it at a very high level. So I was like, oh, I missed out on Mox. And he's got the best promo in the world, if you ask me. So, missed out on Mox. But besides that, it was a fun time to see pro wrestling. So there was that.
That's
and
cool.
hopefully I'll be hitting some motherfucking ropes soon. I think I'm just going to go there. Show up, and ask what I got to do to start fucking training. Like, I sent a DM to somebody. I didn't really get a response. I don't take it personally, but I'm just going to go there and fucking shoot my shot.
Right.
And if they're like, get the fuck out of here, like, I'm going to be like, okay, bye.
Yeah.
Like, but if they're like, oh, here's the steps you need to take. This is the next tryout. Whatever it is. Here's how much money you have to fucking pay us for this to even spend our time with you. Like, whatever the gimmick. Like,
Right.
at this point, I'm down. So, did you watch the fights, Anthony?
I did not watch them live, but I did
You
watch
son
them.
of a bitch.
I watched
You
a
didn't
lot.
watch. You did watch them.
Yeah, I watched them. So I was. Who do you want to talk about first? Because I'm trying to remember what happened in some of these fights. I've been thinking about John Jones all day.
You've been thinking about John Jones?
Like the fight, not him specifically.
Not his nips?
Not his nips, his bones, his knees.
Not his sexy, slender calves?
No. His elbows and his knees. I've been thinking about those.
Okay.
But I've also been thinking about.
Did you think that maybe he didn't win that fight?
I think there's a strong possibility that, if he wasn't the champion, he might have not won that fight.
I mean, it was close.
It was close.
Now, like, it depends on what you're a mark for, right? Like, I think John Jones controlled the center almost exclusively, right? Like, there were very few moments where he wasn't in control of the center. And in rounds that are very, very close, where no one does a significant amount of damage, right? Even though both those dudes were fucked up, like, their legs were both fucked coming out of that fight, right? But in terms of, like, really scoreable, easily scored damage where, oh, this guy just destroyed this guy in this round, right?
Yeah.
When they're going to be close, tight rounds like that, either a takedown or control of the center is going to win that round.
Yeah.
And John controlled the center in almost every fucking moment of the fight. Not like, oh, in every round, like every moment, basically.
Yeah, he was going forward.
John was walking him around. Now, some of that might be due to the way that Mr. Santos' leg was feeling, right?
Right.
But you saw John get carried the fuck out of that cage, yeah?
Right, yeah.
So, like, his leg wasn't doing so great either. So he has a better poker face. Because, like, we started noticing those welts on his upper thigh and on his mid-thigh. It's like, whoa, that dude's lumped up in there.
Yeah.
So he's going through something as well, right?
Yeah, he's just moving
He just
forward.
kayfabed it better. He hid that shit better. But once the fight was over and he was done talking to Joe Rogan, he was, like, up on the shoulders. You know what I'm saying? Using men as crutches.
Dad and bro.
So
helping him out.
a very tough fight. Very tough fight. I think it's fair to say that John underperformed. I think that's fair to say. I think I wanted to see a lot more. I wanted to see a lot more different looks and a lot more experimentation. He kept saying that he fought a smart fight. I think in hindsight, when you walk out with that belt, it's a smart fight.
Right.
But what if all three judges saw it the way that one of those judges saw it, 48-47, going the other way? How smart is that motherfucking fight now?
Right.
How smart is it now?
It's not that smart.
So you can't, unless you win 50-45,
or just straight
and it's
kill
the
a
same
dude.
fight. If they score it 50-45, you fought a very smart fight, but they did not score it that way.
Right.
So I think it's a dangerous thing to say, like, I fought a smart fight. I don't know. You were fortunate that they saw it your way.
You know what I think it is? Hubris.
I understand.
You get,
And I'm guilty of hubris many times in my life.
Right.
So I resemble that remark. Right? And I respect that. And it might be. It might be.
it's a definite.
But all fighters need an element of delusion. You can't do something dangerous if you don't believe you're always going to be safe. Same thing with anyone that does anything that's extremely high risk, right? Like, if you're going to get on a motorcycle and jump off a ramp and try and do 3 flips, you don't do it because you know you can die. Like, you already know that, but you believe you're going to be fucking okay.
Right.
So you do that. But that belief is based in nonsense. It's not based in any real thing. Like, anything can happen.
Right.
The reality is you could easily die just as easily as you could land it and be the hero. Right?
Right.
So I wouldn't use the phrase or the word hubris to describe it right this second. I just think that in hindsight, it's easy to say it was a smart fight. You won. You left with the belt. But man, one of those judges saw you losing that fight, and if one more judge agreed with him, and it's a flip round, right? It's one round.
Yeah.
If they decide the other round goes another way, if one man decides one round goes another way, you are no longer champion, and that's no longer a smart fight, and it's the biggest mistake of your fucking career.
Right.
So it's hard to say which is which.
Yeah.
Right? But I do think he underperformed. But it was still enough to win. And that's good because I like stories like that. I like stories like John's existing. But I also like the story of the underdog. Right?
Yeah.
Both models are beautiful. But right now, I don't think it's time for John to lose. I think the world is served by having him as a heel figure who still does well.
Yeah. All I'm saying is that hubris. I'm gonna say hubris again. Hubris because
See, but that's why I like it that he wins. I like that he's like the anti-moral.
Right.
So it's like
it's good.
It's like I want Khabib and Valentina to lose,
I get that.
but I want John to win because he's the bad guy.
I understand. I understand the reasons why. But if you want him to win, he can still be the bad guy, but still do it correctly. Like it's like, okay, I play your game. I box you up a little bit. I start kickboxing you a little bit. Cool. Now we go to work. I take you down. I mount you. I make you bleed. It's always in his mind. It's, hey, you're a black belt Muay Thai striker. Very cool. I'm gonna outstrike you. Oh,
And he kept putting him over like he's a black belt in Muay Thai.
Yes.
Like that means anything.
Yes.
There are no belts in Muay Thai. Belts are made up.
They're made up, but they are there.
You don't wear a jacket. Where are you putting this belt? What are you talking about?
It's when you get that.
He's a black belt in Muay Thai.
When you do that dance, when you do that little the white crew, you gotta wear your belt.
It's made up.
Gotta wear your belt.
It's made up.
Doing the
And
white crew.
I don't know if he's trolling when he says this.
Mm-mm.
Like I hope he is.
I don't think so.
He's like, hey, I just went in there with a black belt in Muay Thai, guys.
He's trolling, but not in the way you think. It's not like a wink to
It's like,
you.
what the fuck does that mean?
It's not a wink. It's not a wink to the crowd, though. It's not a wink to the crowd. It's like for himself. He's like, I want these guys to think that I was fighting an elite striker.
Yeah, I mean, look, basic pro wrestling is you never say your opponent sucks.
Right.
Your opponent is incredible.
Yeah.
Because when you whoop his ass, so are you.
Mm-hmm.
If he's a bum, and you say, oh, this guy's a bum, this is gonna kick his ass, he's a fucking bum, and then he smokes you, now you're less than a bum.
Right.
It doesn't serve you not to put the guy over.
Mm-hmm.
But like, he kept repeating that this guy's a black belt in Muay Thai. He's been doing this for 20 years, guys. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Okay, bro. Like, you read a book on how to be a babyface, but like, you're a heel, John.
Yeah.
Like, you're a fucking heel.
Yeah. And then 2 weeks go by when John's getting that surgery, he'll talk that cash. You're like, yeah. Diego thought he won. He was close, but I maybe need to ring his bell again. But he's
not Diego, Thiago.
Thiago. Doesn't matter.
Diego was on some other shit.
Diego's sad face. We can talk about that later. Let's go.
Oh my god.
Let's talk about.
Dude, his corner man needs to be strung up from a tree somewhere. Like, fuck that guy. I hope that guy didn't take any of Diego's money. If that guy has any honor, like, it's one thing if somebody asks you to do them the favor of walking them out there.
Yeah.
Right. I left my team. Will you walk out with me?
Right.
Just for the sake of that guy asking me. If I had no fucking qualifications, I would say, am I the only guy that you asked? I'll go with you, man.
Yeah.
But like, hey, I don't know anything here.
Yeah.
I'm walking with you to demonstrate how much I believe in you and love you. And I'll say, go Diego.
Mm-hmm.
Keep going. But that's all I got. And I feel like this motherfucker might be one of those guys that's gonna try to cash that check. And like, if that's that guy, if you are that guy, and you're trying to cash that check off of that man, go fuck yourself. Go find the highest bridge and jump the fuck off of it. And I hope it's one of those bridges that doesn't have water underneath it. Because when you hit it, I don't want your body to hide under the water and the pieces that it's in. I want to see the splatter. Go fuck yourself. The worst ever. The worst.
Okay.
I just love Diego, man. He's crazy, right? And I have a heart, like, I have a special place in my heart for the crazies. You know?
Understandable.
You know, like in the end of Fear and Loathing when he's like, too rare to live, something like that. Like
I don't know that. But
too weird to die,
I
some
don't
shit like that. Like that's Diego, dog. Like, oh, that guy has my heart. Since like he was channeling the energy
like,
on the
Jesus.
Ultimate Fighter,
Yeah.
and I was like, that dude is shooting right now. Like, he's not working us, guys.
No.
Like, he really thinks he's doing that. Okay, like, he's a legit crazy,
But he beats dudes down.
but not this time.
No.
Not Miss, not Mr. Kiesa. As long as there's no milk in it, you know. Hell yeah. Thank you, sir. I'm about to get myself a shake of some kind.
Oh.
I'm about to get a shake live on air.
Oh. Let's
Now.
see. Oh,
Now.
Yeah. Yes.
Let's talk about Holly and Amanda Nunes.
Mm.
Mainly,
Mm.
so we can just talk about the other shit last. Because
Mm.
there's some shit that definitely should have closed that show if I was building it like a pro wrestling match.
Of
If I was
course.
building that shit like a pro wrestling event, the main event is Masvidal Askren. Thank you, sir. But it was not pro wrestling.
No.
So it had to be built legit.
Smoothie test.
And they had the option really of putting Amanda Nunes on last. And I think they should have.
Yeah.
I think they should have. Because John's last performances haven't been that entertaining until the very end.
Yeah.
If you watch that Cormier fight,
It's just.
it's really not the most fun fight.
It's just
You watch that Gustafsson fight, not the most fun fight until he finishes them,
right.
right? So if we're going for pure entertainment value, Amanda Nunes and Holly Holm are likely to entertain us
Yes.
on a level that's higher than John Jones is capable of doing right now, or chooses to do. But whatever, they like to close with the dudes, especially if they're big. They like to close with the dudes. So they did what they did. And Amanda Nunes did what she does. She found a spot and knocked the woman unconscious. Brilliant.
Okay.
Amazing performance, really. And, like, she's just adding to the argument that she's the fucking best. You know, she's just adding to that argument. So good for her. It's not like Holly underperformed. It was a tough shot.
Right.
It was clean. You know,
She
well
hits-
placed, well timed.
She hits hard. She hits
And
hard.
and now she's talking about fighting Cyborg again.
It's like wrap it up. Wrap it up. Wrap it up. You guys messed up my story. You didn't let my girlfriend beat Tatiana, so now I have to walk around with belts on my shoulder for my girlfriend.
Wait, what?
That was gonna be the plan. That's what they were. That was a slow upcline to make what's her face, Amanda Nunes' girlfriend to be like the first gay couple champion thing.
Nina.
Nia, yeah, that was the.
Dude, she's good.
No, she is good. I agree. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with it. I'm just saying it's like she's mad. That's why she's like, all right, let's wrap this up. I'm ready to be done with this sport. I've already beaten everybody in all my divisions. I can't get smaller than what I am. So let's get this Cyborg fight to shut all the people up, and then I'll see
Bro, I
you
don't even
guys.
know who needs to be shut up.
No,
Like
but-
her supporters?
No, there's that guy.
Like that's the only people that are talking, I think.
There's that
I haven't heard
guy.
anyone say she's not
There's-
she hasn't done enough.
I think somebody with your namesake might have said something terrible. There's some guy that Dana keeps yelling at. Says you think Amanda Nunes is not.
Wait, there's two guys that you could say have my name. You can say that Darren Till has my name. You can say that David Branch has my name.
It's
Which
not-
one of these motherfuckers are we discussing?
Neither is two. There's some media guy.
Some media guy.
Yeah, some media guy. Let me see. Hold on. It rips into
There's also Darren Elkins. The damage.
Darren Roval.
All right, I don't know about this Darren Rover. Does he spell the name properly?
Darren.
Oh, okay. So he
Yes.
at least gets that credit.
Yeah.
He's at least on the proper level of Darren's. He's not automatically beneath me.
Yeah.
So what did he have to say?
He said between Rousey and Cyborg, Amanda Nunes has single-handedly killed the most valuable women in the sport, brutally damaging to the UFC. Nunes isn't in the same marketing ballpark as either of those two. And
So,
no, I'm not saying it's wrong, but I'm just saying
wait,
like,
but I mean, that's not hating. Those are facts.
it's enough to make Dana start yelling at people. This fucking goofball.
Well, I mean, look, those are facts. Cyborg and Rousey are the ones that drew the most. She fucked them both up,
All right.
right? Those are facts. She's also not as big of a star as either of them. That's another fact.
Correct.
Putting those facts together, it's not the nicest thing to do. You're kind of trying to be cunty. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like, these aren't lies. He didn't make this up. He's not wrong.
I didn't say he was. I'm just saying he's
And
mean.
no, I know. And if Dana's mad, then Dana should do a much better job marketing the fucking athlete that she is.
Yes.
Like, coach her, push her, teach her how to become a star. If you think she's capable of it. So if you're like, well, don't put a limit on her, she can do anything she wants. Well, that's fun to say. How much money are you putting behind that idea?
All right.
Like, you're buying your kid a car and shit. Like, why don't we throw an event for her? Or let this other Darren speak his fucking mind.
Yeah.
You know? Like, give her a push. You're giving her a platform, and she's showing up. It's not like, so it's like, all right, so say you try to push John Jones to the moon,
Yeah.
right? John didn't do you any favors there.
Yeah.
He didn't do you any favors.
No.
But the last times that Amanda Nunes has been in that ring, she's been supporting whatever you did.
Yeah.
She's been worth the push. So if you put her in a position to be a star, right now you're putting her in a position to knock people out, and she's being successful at that. So if you want her to be a star, make her into a star. You're with WME right now. Like, fucking put this bitch in some movies, and all respect. Like, I'm not, like, put her in some fucking movies. Like, or stop saying that, like, oh, this guy is an asshole. Well, he's not wrong. So that means maybe you're the asshole.
Right.
Like, it's a possibility.
Right. So
now, is it true? Because I heard this at the moment.
Okay.
I'm going to consider it a rumor from a source that I like.
Okay.
I heard that Ben Askren was knocked into a brief coma.
No.
Can you look that up
Let's
and
see.
tell me if there's any truth to that? And as you look that up, we will discuss the fact that Jorge Masvidal, in all likelihood at this point, scored the fastest knockout in UFC history over Ben Askren via flying knee and 2 right hands to an unconscious Ben Askren as he laid stiff and motionless on the ground. It was violent, and it was rehearsed. And not rehearsed in a pro wrestling sense, where both guys know what's going to go down. This is rehearsed where only one guy knows it's going to go down. And sometimes when you have a feeling, a hunch, or you see a pattern in the way that somebody behaves when approached a certain way, you can start saying, okay, here's what we're going to do in that very first second of this match. And you're right. This happened with Conor and Jose Aldo, famously, where you see the videos of Conor practicing that shot that he landed flush on Aldo's shin. And this also happened with footage of Mr. Masvidal practicing the exact same movements and the exact same knee strike.
Right.
Right? So it wasn't even like the way he ran up was rehearsed. Like, the way he moved from the moment the fight was about to start, like hands behind my back, to I'm about to take a step, then sprint, then flying knee you in the face. All of that was practiced.
Yeah.
It was fucking amazing.
It was.
And then he like kind of rolled over the top of him like a fucking like a ninja, posted out, hit him with the 2-piece, and then got in his face
Yeah.
and was like, he was down in his fucking forearms like Randy Orton or Stone Cold.
1,
In
2,
his face, like, what's up, dog?
3. It's over.
He created a memeable moment, a huge note in history as being the fastest at anything.
Yeah.
Revenue for him and his family by getting knocked out of the night,
Mm-hmm.
and an opportunity to become a fucking megastar.
Yeah.
Way to step into the spotlight and then lean into it when they put the mic in your face.
Oh yeah.
He talks like he fucking owned the world.
Yeah.
Like, here's what we're not going to talk about. Here's what we are going to talk about. He talks like he owned the world.
Yeah.
Like the whole world.
It was sick.
It was really outstanding. Happy for that guy. Happy for that guy. And I will always root for wrestlers. I was rooting for Ben Askren just because I like to root for the heel. But like, you have to look at that kind of guy, and that I'm talking about Masvidal, and you have to look at that in awe and say and call it what it is. That dude took a moment, you know, and he did something amazing, and he made you point at it. He said, "Hey, don't act like you didn't see what you just saw.
Look at it."
I'm that dude. All right, like just so we're clear, like it's beautiful. So congratulations to Jorge Masvidal.
So I have not seen an official report saying that he was in a brief coma. People said like, oh, it looked like he got looked like he got put in a coma, looked like he should have been in a coma. And one title said, Masvidal put Ben in a coma, but it sounded like they just said that.
So at the moment it remains
a secret.
At rumor status.
Yes.
It's rumor status.
Yes.
The best part of like the press conference was someone was like, "Hey, do you think those shots were unnecessary?" He was like, no. He was like, "Those were absolutely necessary." And then Askren, to his credit, made a reference on Twitter like, I probably deserved that.
Yeah. It's like, well, that's
which I thought was outstanding as well. So like, both guys are leaning into it the right way.
Yeah.
No,
that's good.
That's what you're supposed to do. Be a star. Be a star. It's called professional fighting. It's not called professional winning. You must perform whether you win or lose. You must perform.
And Mr. Poor Luke Rockhold.
Yeah, dude. My homie Lazy was following him for this camp, and so I think that knockout really affected my homie too. Shout out to Luke. It's tough.
Yeah.
His jaw got broken in that.
Yeah.
And then they were automatically being like,
retire.
All the media, Dana. Yeah, he's like,
retire.
Yeah, you're a Ralph Lauren model. Maybe you should do that. And it's like, whoa, dude. Like, yes, it's a tough loss. It's a tough loss. But let that man decide what he's going to do next. Let that man decide.
It just sucks because he can't do either right now.
Oh, that's cold.
Yep.
You're like, ain't no fucking wired shut.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe we can model braces.
Maybe, or just not smile. Just be very serious.
Gotta have jokes, but yeah, like that fucking sucks, and it sucks to be like, yeah, like maybe he should retire right now. Like he's literally on his way to the hospital and shit, or he's in the hospital right this second. You're telling me you should not come back.
Waking up, his boss is telling him you probably should pack up your lunch pail, kid.
We'll see, and he's not telling Diego Sanchez to pack it up.
No, he's like,
the same guy saying, hey, Diego didn't get brutally knocked out, so we're only going on knockouts.
Yeah, he's like, Diego's cool.
When you get entirely outclassed,
Holly Holm,
and you're saying crazy things. Hold on, listen, hear me out here.
Okay.
When you're getting completely outclassed in there, and you've left your camp of your entire fucking career, and you walk out with essentially a motivational speaker, your movement coach is the only guy you need. Maybe it's not a knockout that we need. Right? Maybe a person who's already, from my untrained eye, somewhat ill, doesn't need to get punched anymore. And maybe we can find one of those promotional gigs for him. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If you love him so fucking much, you want to use that word. You love him so much, you want to keep getting him paid? Why has he got to get punched to earn your fucking love then? And why are you throwing Luke under the bus right away? Diego good, but Luke, he needs to go be a model somewhere. Are you sure? Are you sure?
How do you feel about Holly?
Same as Luke, really. She's in a difficult position. It's like you fought for titles so many times, and they're not fond of giving people multiple shots. I don't know how many more times they're gonna let her fight for a belt.
Right.
I don't know what they're gonna do. So, does she need to do this or not? It's something that she can think about, but that's the same boat that Luke Rockhold is in. And these are athletes who know their own bodies and their own minds and their own path more than anybody else does. Let them decide this in their own fucking time. Whether they decide it in a day, a week, or a year. Let them take whatever fucking time they need. That's what I think. I don't think anybody needs to make a decision the fucking Sunday after a fight or the fucking Monday after a fight. Let that shit heal emotionally. Let that shit heal, and then figure out what you want to do with yourself. Besides, she's got a lot on her plate. She had a recent divorce.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
So there's a lot going on. So let her fucking chill for a second.
Yeah. So did she lose any money? Who knows? She might have lost some cash, too.
What do you mean?
After the divorce, she might have been. She probably was the breadwinner.
Oh man, I don't even want to discuss that. I don't want to speculate.
Fair enough. Fair
You son of a
enough.
bitch. God damn it. All right, yo, for shoot, there are still pieces of cactus in my leg
Why were you touching cactus?
from putting out fires with towels.
Oh yeah, that's right. You were a superhero the other day.
God damn it. It's like that sometimes, Anthony.
It's understandable.
It's hard out here.
Yeah. So, you want to hear about how fast what's his face got submitted by Craig Jones?
Oh, Anthony Johnson?
Yeah.
I'm going to say, all right, 19 seconds.
Nah, it was actually 47.
47 seconds. So that means Anthony ran.
No, actually, he engaged. He
No, I'm playing.
he engaged. It was actually kind of
I'm
crazy.
playing. I mean, it's not like he's never grappled before, and he's a
Right.
big dude.
Right.
I just know how dangerous Craig is. So I
Yeah.
knew it was under a minute. And because I mean, like a guy who has an attacking-based game like that can do that.
Right.
You know, can just look at your body and say, "Oh, there's that one spot where I can demolish it."
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna get to it and demolish.
Yeah. No, it was kind of crazy. It was like he just kind of like touched like John's, like he just basically like it was like a very polite thing he did. He just grabbed his heel. He didn't try to turn it. He didn't try to do anything for it. He just literally
You just gave it a squeeze.
like you put your hand on like the barrel, not the barrel, the grip of the gun.
No, it's like when you raise your hand to a child. You're like, "Huh? I fucking,
It's like
you know, I'm not the fuck. All right now."
It's like it's more like when you're like
Catch
cowboy.
the heel look like that, like, I
Not-
can
not
fucking
even.
check. All right now, all right.
It's like a cowboy. It's like a cowboy when like they flip their shirt up and put the hand on the hip, like I'm a little teapot sort of pose. It's like it's gonna happen. He's like, I'm warning
shit's
you.
funny.
I'm warning you. But it was cool.
This is funny. Were there any other notable matches in Submission Underground? Because honestly, I looked at that card and I was like, what the fuck is this? I'm not watching this.
Gabriel Gonzaga, Fabiano Schöner. But
Was it boring though?
I didn't watch it. I just only watched Craig Jones. It was.
Did somebody get tapped?
In the overtime round? They got tapped. Armbar.
In the overtime round?
Yeah.
Well, that's bullshit though, because the overtime round you start out in a submission, so that means it was
Yeah.
boring as fuck.
Yeah.
And then they went to the fucking overtime, and
Yeah.
somebody got submitted because they started in a fucking submission.
Yeah, I wasn't really interested in any of that. But
Boo, hiss, boo.
yeah.
Boo, hiss, boo.
Boo hiss boo.
Boo, hiss, boo.
But you know what is exciting? I mean, we don't have to talk about this today. We can save that for Friday. We'll talk about
What's
this.
up?
We'll talk about this instead. We'll hit Darren with the tough question of the day.
Okay, give it to me.
All right. Are you surprised that you hit most of your goals like as you were leaving Cleveland, like within less than a year's worth of time?
What do you mean?
So like you always said like, yeah, like in a year you'll be in a different place doing a different thing. And well, you didn't say that. You said you're gonna be a different position in your life in a year from now. And like everybody watch. And you like hit that position about little less than a year, I believe. And you probably hit the goals that you've hit that you said, yeah, like one day I'll be on TV and I'll be doing doing the thing.
I don't even count this though.
I know, but
like-
did you feel like you've already made those goals in such a short period of time? How does that make you feel?
Like I haven't reached those goals in any way.
Really?
Yeah, for real.
Okay.
That's how I feel. That's how I interpret my life right now.
Why?
Like, look, like I'm gonna finish the podcast right now so that I can go train more jujitsu. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I don't feel like I've done anything.
Right.
I was my face was on a television screen for 2 seconds.
Right.
That's not me being on TV.
But not being on
I want to
TV.
be on TV talking like it's me and you.
Right.
And on that day, then maybe I touched that goal a little bit. And when I'm on that screen on a regular basis,
Yeah.
talking like I'm talking to fucking you right now,
Yeah.
then I've reached that goal. You know, like the goal isn't to appear. The goal is to become a fixture. Like the goal is to use that to jump off into something else that really contributes, because that's how you really make it in this world. And like what I can really contribute, like when I can touch a lot of people then I'll have something to show for this life. And until then, I'm not worth shit, and I shouldn't be. And like that's how I see it. Like next Saturday, my homie Donald, my mentor, my first jiu-jitsu coach, is going to be in Vegas, and I was like, yo, let's make sure that we connect because I want to talk to him about that, like that very same thing. Like, I think a lot of people would look at like, oh, you lost your school and you got kicked off of Gracie Humoita to now you're doing this. And it's like, this is just a process. I haven't arrived at anything. In all actuality, I'm fucking late. I should have already done this. Should have already been here. Should have already been a fixture. But I had dumb shit in my life going on. I wasn't doing the right things. You know what I'm saying? So like, I feel like I'm late to the party. I haven't arrived yet even. I haven't arrived yet. I just called the Uber.
It's called the Uber.
I just called the Uber.
You're in transit.
And I'm showing up there in my fucking country ass shoes and fucking dirty pants. Like I'm not the star. I'm not the reason the party's happening yet.
Right.
And I don't deserve to be. And like when I am the reason a party is happening, then I'll say, you know what? All right, I kind of reached what I wanted to reach here, but I haven't. So that's how it feels. Anthony.
Darren.
There's no time for weird news. I got to get to the jiu-jitsu class.
All right.
I'm going to be late as it is.
Okay.
So it was a fun podcast.
Yes.
And I appreciate everyone that listens, especially anyone that's listening live. You are the greatest human beings of all time. If you're an audio listener, we fucking love you. We need you to tell your friends. And you know what? I'll stop being such a fucking asshole and even tell my friends.
Oh.
Because I don't really promote the podcast like I should.
It's okay.
No, it's not. And it stops right now. God damn it. I love you guys. Goodbye, Internet. This is goodbye for real. XOXO.